And good evening from John Thiel Gymnasium on the campus of Galesburg High School. This is Quincy High Blue Devil basketball, Western Big Six style, and girls division. Hi, I'm Jeff Wellman as we get ready on the road as both teams are this week. The Quincy High Blue Devils were here on Tuesday night with a big victory there, 82-16. 87. Anyway, it's a big victory. The women are back tonight, and this is a great matchup tonight. Quincy High comes in 8-1, 3-0 in the conference. Galesburg Silver Streaks are 8-0, 3-0 in the conference. So only one loss between them, and that was Quincy High losing to the number one team from last year, O'Fallon. Blue Devils are coming in averaging just under 50 points a game. Galesburg at 55. Now the Blue Devils, they're only giving up 21.3 compared to 33.6 for Galesburg. The Blue Devils won last week. Geneseo and Sterling came back against Macomb in a non-conference game with a 62-16 victory. We'll catch up with the rest of the scores in the conference as well as what's happening with the Galesburg team. But let me bring in here Coach Dave Pettit. Coach, we have got a great week of basketball. This is going to be a great one tonight, starting with the women.
Night with, Galesburg girls 8-0, Quincy High girls 8-1. Tomorrow night we're at Quincy High School with Sterling, who's 6-1, and the Blue Devils I don't think have been beaten yet. And then Saturday night we're going to go to University of Missouri for the Norm Stewart Classic, and they'll play probably nationally ranked team in Chaminade.
That's indeed. It's a busy weekend for the Blue Devil teams. Now this is a nice matchup too for the Devils, as early in the season the conference looks good. They've got some good ball teams back. We looked at Geneseo, we beat them. Sterling with a victory there too. But this is a great matchup here with Galesburg, and Galesburg graduated some girls too. But looking down their roster, they got a triplet set of freshmen. Two of them do start. They've got also, I double checked that was, and also I believe it's a set of twins as well. So,
well, when you start talking about Galesburg, you talk about, Coach Massey that just got his 1,000th win last game, and I'm gonna be honest with you, 1,000 wins with one team, boys, girls, don't make any difference. He might be second to Dorothy Gates up in Marshall, but when you start with Galesburg, that's where it starts. A second, third, and 3/4 state tournament. And three freshmen, on the team with three freshmen. I tell you what, it's going to be a good game. And then you look at Quincy High School, very evenly distributed. I mean, you look at, led by the senior Foley, 11 points, five rebounds per game, 2.3 assists, 2.8 steals. I mean, that's a stat stuffer. You have the two freshmen, Brown averaging 12-7, Longcourt 12-2. Brown getting 6 boards a game, Longcourt getting 2.5 steals. And then you got the other seniors that add stability. Dade, Chevalier, they've been very good all the way through. And this is going to be a great game tonight. This is probably the best game in the state tonight as far as girls basketball.
Well, and look at the rest of the conference there this week. It was on December 7th. Check that, it's tonight. December 2nd, Quincy beat Sterling 52-29. Galesburg with a 55-46 victory over East Moline. Alleman Catholic 66, Moline 48, and Geneseo 34-32 against Rocky. Here's your standing so far in the league.
Yeah, and like I say, it looks like you got the haves and the have-nots. Quincy 8-1, Galesburg 8-0, East Moline 7-1. Their only loss is to Galesburg, and then you got Alleman Catholic, who is always tough. So, Quincy High's got some tough games coming up, and this is the first of many. in the Western Big Six for the girls' side.
Well, leading the way for the girls is Taylor Foley. She's averaging roughly around 12 points a game. Coach, you got the rest of those stats, although Miley Loncourt just got up to double digits.
Yeah, well, Miley's up to 12-2 as far as the last, posting on, Max Prep. So, you have Jada Brown, who's doing, very, very well. 12-7, 6 rebounds, 1.5 steals per game, and then 1.5 assists per game as a freshman. You've got a bright future. Loncourt 12-2, 3 rebounds, almost 2 assists a game, and 2.5 steals. And then you got the senior leadership with Foley, Dade, and Chevalier. 11, 6, 3, but you got 5 boards. I mean, Chevalier, I look at her stats, almost 4 a game, 2.3 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 2.5 steals per game. She's doing a little bit of everything, and that's what you need on a successful team.
Indeed, sorry about that, Coach. Checking out the crowd down here in the starting lineups coming up for the Silver Streaks and the Blue Devils. As we mentioned, you got a lot of stuff going on coming up there this upcoming week. Good ball games. Next week's not a bad week either. We've got a bunch of action out there, especially on Tuesday, where you've got either the doubleheader with Palmyra Tigers or Quincy High playing Webster Groves. Then you've got the Thursday, Friday East Moline trip, much like this week with Galesburg. And then a full day of Saturday. I'm sure that looks like a busy Saturday.
Well, yeah, that's going to be a game that we're pointing towards. The Saturday, September 16th, the Blue Devils will be at the pit, and that place will be rocking, and you better get out there early because you're not going to find a place to sit.
Indeed. I guess we do not have a girls game this weekend, do we? I'm trying to think if the Blue Devils after tonight.
We could, but that's going to be a lot. Well, I think we could.
Because we're already on December 9th. 8th, of course, is on Friday night, Saturday night. I guess they do play Alleman on Saturday night when we are down at Columbia. And that was kind of nice, too, on Columbia. It's a Norm Stewart Classic. This year they're adding this, might be more than the first year, the Sophie Cunningham Classic on the girls' side in January. But you've got George Schultz. I was trying to reach Coach. Of course, he played basketball down at Jacksonville just after Artis Gilmore. Then ended up coaching with Coach Norm Stewart down at Mizzou. Wrote the book with Coach Stewart, coaching basketball. And, of course, we've mentioned that before, where Mike Foster from Palmyra, you'll find him in that book because he was a freshman, and the freshman got pulled into duty for pictures in the book. I didn't realize this either. Mike Hellenthal went down there 18 years in a row for 2 weeks of camp and was good friends with Norm Stewart. George just passed me along that today.
Yeah, Coach Hellenthal did, tons of work, with younger individuals, whether it be, 7th, 8th graders, or, you go down those camps. Well, you get to the juniors and seniors that are thinking that they're going to go places. And, Coach, basically, he wouldn't lie to you. No ifs, ands, or buts.
But, of course, Coach Norm Stewart was from Leonard, Missouri. Moved into Shelbyville and had quite the career as a Mizzou Tiger coach. And the matchups I always remember, and it's funny because getting down to Mizzou to watch a game will be the first time I've actually been in a Mizzou facility since the Checker Dome, Illinois versus Missouri, back when Andy Kaufman played. And Bob Goff and I went down with Sports Wrap. We did our Sports Wrap in the Checker Dome with Rich Gould. Great night, great evening, and we had a little time between, so we ran down to the little establishment just south.
When I think of Norm Stewart, Mizzou, I think of Sunvold and Stepanovich. That group that they had was probably a top 5 team, in the country, and, they competed with everybody.
Oh, and that's about the time this was, because Foster was a freshman when those guys were playing. It was amazing down there, though, the Checker Dome. Now you have to basically tell kids, hey, look it up. Go to the Encyclopedia Britannica, if you know what that is. And it was amazing because we're up there, and I'm a UNLV fan, and we're up there in the press box, and it was a bad call against Andy Kaufman. And I just basically said at normal room temperature, that was a bad call. And every head in that press room turned and looked at me, and so I decided to wander down the hallway, went up the elevator, and next thing I know, I'm on one of 4 corners of the outside of the roof. And I don't know how I got there, and I knew I shouldn't be there, and so I moved on. But, yeah, the old stories, of course, gosh, now I can remember some of those guys telling the old stories about old stadiums and stuff, much like Fenway and all that. But anyway, so it should be a lot of fun down there. Chaminade, of course, it'll be a non-conference game, but great competition for them. Again, there's 4 shootouts they're running this year that normally they'll do. Well, some to do, but you don't. You've got normal shootout. You've got Norm Stewart's shootout. Highland with Cardinals Ritter at noon, and then where's my other shootout missing? Oh, our own at Quincy. Kind of hard.
Yeah. I tell you what, Coach Douglas on the boys' side has set it up to where they're going to play the best, and they're going to see how they're going to compete. Kind of like Boline did last year, you know, with Freeman, and he's done a heck of a job at Iowa, you know, so it's going to be one of those things to where, you know, we'll see how the Blue Devils, you know, fare against the best. You know, I don't know when Longcore's coming back, but.
Oh, Longcore's been back.
Oh, he's been back, okay.
Yeah. Coming off the bench the last 2 games.
2 games, okay.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to have the national anthem. We're going to stand and rise. And by the way, on this December 7th, 1941, 82 years ago, and we'll go ahead and pass, and we'll go with the national anthem and talk about that right after. That's right. I do have a couple seconds while they bring the flag out. Each time here at John Thiel Gymnasium. Bring down the, what would you call that, Coach? That you hook on the flag.
I think of John Thiel Gymnasium. That was Sher Hank's best friend.
I think I saw a
and it goes back to 1963, I believe.
Ian also hopes to continue his basketball career in college. Senior Ian Dominic Jr.
And as we mentioned here on this 82nd anniversary of Pearl Harbor, we think about all those veterans from before, especially the Second World War, following up the attack on the U.S. And we're glad so many were in. Good crowd tonight. Last night, or Tuesday night, half the crowd down below, another half up above. I mean, it was not a great crowd. Of course, they're down a little bit, the boys, and it was a weeknight. It's a weeknight here, too, but you've got the matchup between 8-0 and 8-1.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the best matchup, you know, in the state of Illinois night. If somebody's got a better one, let me know. Yeah, this is going to be good between the Devils and, you know, gosh, the master of probably Illinois girls basketball, you know, Evan Massey down here in Galesburg.
Yeah, it's just like the other night. The lights go out as they get ready for the starting lineup here for the Silver Streaks. We'll catch it. I picked it up from the broadcasting student here earlier. We had a nice conversation for a while.
How bad do you really want to be a champion? Do you see it in your
Lights
dreams?
on the far side. As the lights went out, everybody has little pen lights. I guess that'd be a phone, wouldn't it, nowadays? As Coach mentioned, Evan Massey, the head coach of the Silver Streaks, Lexi Daniels and Kelsey Legg, they are the assistant coaches. Valencia Davis is your manager for the basketball team. Silver Streaks will wear, oh, that's right, they're watching a video over here right to our right, and that's why everybody's looking up at us. We've got the Silver Streaks in their home white trimmed in. What do you think? Silver.
Silver
Black,
and gold.
Black as well, yes indeed, as a outline. You know, it is kind of a shame they put it on the opposite side of us so we can't see it. Well, I've got a tentative lineup here. Number 4, Kiera Kilgore. She's a 5'9" senior. Now, we've got 2 of the 3 Herschenroders triplets. 2 of them, I guess, are identical. 1 is not. So we'll be able to pick one of them out tonight. Here we go. Let's get it officially from the PA announcer. Everybody still uses the Chicago Bulls or the serious Alan Parsons. There we are, just as we thought. Kiera Kilgore, the 5'9" senior, number 4. Now we find out the Herschenroders. Our first one's number 5. Well, let's check that now. Number 14. That's Alexis Edgerson. Number 30, Antonio Kistler, 5'9" senior. Edgerson, by the way, 5'4" senior, so there's 3 seniors. Number 34, Syria Boyd, a 5'10" senior. And the one Herschenroder got out there before we could check her out. So they're sending all 3 of them at us.
I'm going to tell you what, we'll find out because, you know, Coach Massey bringing freshmen up, they're going to play. You know what I mean? He's not one to bring him up just to, you know, look cute or whatever, but they're going to play.
And, of course, the Blue Devils in their road blue trimmed in white. Our lineup, of course, Taylor Foey out there along with the seniors, Leah Chevalier, also Layla Dade, and freshmen Miley Loncourt and Jada Brown. Devils get the tip and immediately get into the half-court set. Left to right on your dial. Glad you could be with us. MechaSportsCo.com. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit.
Oh.
Backdoor cut. Ball got to the far side. Picking the ball up and going deep. Kiera Kilgore and rolls the first points into the game. Galesburg 2-0. Dade will bring it across the timeline. Ball goes left side, looks inside of the block. Jada Brown. Jada makes a nice move across the lane to the right side with a little hook. And the Blue Devils are on the board.
This is going to be a fun team to watch this year as they develop with 3 seniors, you know, 2 freshmen starting, but you've got a young team on the bench that's going to be coming in and out.
Galesburg takes a shot and misses it. Long rebound comes out to the strong side. Into the right corner. That's Edgerson. Edgerson reverses it around. Tipped by Leah Chevalier as he crosses the court. Out of bounds. Free throw line extended into the stands. So we have played a minute. We're tied at 2-2. Left side, Kilgore drives baseline. Brown and Foey were there. Ball gets kicked out to the right side. Quickly into the right corner and back around left. In that left corner, Kilgore looking. Brown on her. Oh, skipped over to the right block. Foey was there. Ball had to come back out from Galesburg. Good ball movement there. 4 in the perimeter, 1 flashing in. Now we got 2 in the low post for the Silver Streaks. From the right corner, shot good. 3-pointer, and that was Edgerson. 5-2, Galesburg.
Blue Devils in that 1-2-2 just didn't rotate good enough on that possession.
In the half-court set for the Devils, right side Chevalier at the 45. She backs it out through the legs. ML14, top of the key. In the high post is Taylor Foey. Left side Dade loses the handle but picks it up. Nice job. Backdoor cut. Foey gets it. Saves it. Resets. Right side. No good. Longcore with the miss. Weak side rebound. And that was Ella Hirschenroder. We figured out which one of the Hirschenroders were going to start the triplets. Longcore with a nice shot, and left side Kilgore. And Kilgore fires a three from the left side. 2 threes in a row. We've got an 8-2 game, Galesburg.
Pick it out and guard her because that was a nice stroke.
Well, Coach, the other night we watched this net down here as Foey drives to the lane and scores. Foey with a score, and she's fouled. She'll have a chance at 3.
Great strong move on the baseline by Foey.
So we talked the other night, Coach, with before the game, Andy Douglas. Coach Douglas was there shooting with Clay and Sprick and those guys, and Schoolham, by the way. Good on the shot. We noticed how soft the net is on this end, and it just lets it go really through the net real easy, too. Normally you have a hard net, it goes through, and if it's a soft net, it might get stuck in there.
Yep.
8-5, we played almost 2 minutes. I almost lost the corner of the board there on the board just up. Kilgore, right side, 3, long. Longcore was on the weak side, but the rebound came out to Ederson. Galesburg has another round. Chevalier picks it up. Goes over to Kilgore. We've got a 2-guard front. Kilgore's on the left side. She had some good height to her as well, Coach.
5'9" is what they got her listed
Well,
at, but she looks bigger than 5'9".
She looks a lot bigger than 5'9". Shot no good. Maybe we just look short.
Yeah.
Left side Chevalier looks in the block. He gets Foley. Foley
strong.
Goes in strong. Well, actually went strong to the opposite side. Missed it. Galesburg gets the rebound. In transition, Kilgore has it knocked away. Chevalier and Longcore. Picking the ball up is Taylor Foley. So the Devils have the basketball, approaching halfway through the first quarter, and a fast one it sure seems like.
Haven't been a lot of fouls called and not a lot of stops of play here. So yeah, it's moving along pretty quick.
Longcore in the left corner. Foley came out as Longcore moved up to the wing. Backdoor cut. Good cut by Dade. Great pass out at the top of the key by Jada Brown.
That's one thing about the Lady Blue Devils. When you look at them, they've got, about 4 or 5 people averaging, 2 assists per game. They are very unselfish, when it comes to passing and looking for the open lady.
And that's 2 fouls in the first quarter for the Silver Streaks. Ederson and Kistler. And hitting the first free throw is Layla Dade. And a shout out, speaking of that, to her grandpa, Kent Dade. I'm sure listening out there. I don't see him in the stands. 2 free throws in a row by Dade. And we've got an 8-8 ball game. 8-7 ball game.
And that's one thing you can do if you can't make it up to the game. Mecca Sports Co., YouTube, meccasportsco.com. You can get us a couple of different ways.
Kilgore in the right corner. Drove down to the short corner, kicks out to the left side. Bounce pass in the block. Shot, turn around. Oh, good shot there. Now, she is definitely taller, but she's skinny and looks tall. That was our sub, Josanne Kilgore. So we got the 2 Kilgore sisters in there at the same time, 10-7.
5'10", that was a good move by the other freshman, Kilgore.
Foey hands it off to Chevalier. Chevalier made the move to the basket, but getting pushed from behind by Kilgore. That would be Josanne. Her first, team's third. So 3 minutes left in the quarter. Devils still have Dade, Foey. Leonard came in, Chevalier, and Longcore. Brown got a break. The pace was going pretty good. Longcore, good from 3 on the top of the key.
Nice stroke by Longcore. Step back, got behind the, steal.
And a steal by Longcore. Miley with a basket of 3 from the right side, turns around and then gets a steal. I broke my pencil too, Coach. Foey at the elbow. Hands off to Leonard, making a cut. And Leonard traveled. She got bumped a little bit there by Syria Boyd.
Bumped. She got knocked down.
She's a bit of an athlete too, she looks like. Checked her out. Galesburg with the basketball. It's Taylor Hirschenroder. She brings the ball down the court. Left side is Kilgore. That would be Kira, excuse me. She steps behind the screen in the left corner. Her three is no good. Weak side. Dade was there, and Dade fought
Nice
away
box
two
out.
of the Silver Streaks
Nice
for the
box
rebound.
Sometimes those guards on the 2 line got to go down on the bottom and box out, and they did a heck of a job on that possession.
Well, we talked about it early in the season against O'Fallon, and the guards were getting pushed down there and getting out-rebounded.
Yeah.
So it was great to see Layla get really physical in there. Now, that's what you're seeing now from Coach now. He's switching out Taylor Foey, giving her a break, bringing Brown in, going with one big girl at a time where we've been running two, and keep the guards out there. She's still got to be taller than 5'9". Backdoor cut.
Good.
Kilgore is
Good
knocked
hands.
out. Three of the Blue Devils with the steal. Not with the steal, but with the deflection. Works to the right side. That's Ederson. Ederson gets the ball back. Playing a catch with Ederson and Herschenroder. So you've got the two Kilgores, Herschenroder, now from the left corner, and here's another three. Ederson hits a second three. She pulled behind the screen after she left the paint.
That 1-3-1's going to be tough for the Blue Devils to play because those open corner shots, they're hitting them.
Leonard off the left side, no good. Herschenroder gets the rebound. Down the left, Kilgore. Kilgore brings it to the middle of the court. Skips it down to the right corner to her sister. So you got Kilgore at the point, Kilgore in the right corner. You got Herschenroder on the left side. And inside floating around. Well, now actually Josanne went down low.
Good
Steal by
hands.
Brent Leonard. And doing a good job of not traveling. She was keeping one leg down, but then she started getting away, and as the referee said, she was doing a little.
Yeah. Well, they still always tell me that cheek to cheek, that's traveling, when you're on the ground. So if you roll from one to the other, that's traveling.
And substitutions. Boyd's going to get a break. Herschenroder is getting a break as well. Coming in, Ella Herschenroder. Still got Kilgore in there, as well as Ederson.
And Byquist. 20.
In the half-court set, 1 minute left in the first quarter, 13-10. Silver Streaks have the lead over the Devils. Devils in the 1-2-2. Byquist came into the game. She's at the point. Then you got Dade and Longcore at the second level, basically at the high post, and Foey and Brown back with a big lineup in. So as soon as they shifted a couple of big girls out, bigger girls, Devils came back in with the
Well, and that's one thing. When you can go 7 or 8 deep, you can do, small lineup, big lineup, in between lineup. You can do a lot of different things if you're Coach Dance.
left corner. Kilgore kicks it to the right side. Ends up to Ederson in the right corner. Ederson fires a three from the right corner. That's her third and the fourth by the Silver Streaks in the first quarter. Now 16-10 lead.
Well, and that's one thing, the 1-3-1, guarding the corners, that's the hardest thing you can do. Good strong
Foey gets it down on the right
move.
block. She
Oh, my
gets it
goodness.
in. Good step in, bumps off the Silver Streak and hits the shot. She's got 5 so far tonight. 16-12.
Good, solid, strong move.
6 seconds left into the first quarter. Byquist and Longcore out hounding. Byquist doing a great job of hounding for the last shot. And a nice job by the Devils.
Great
Kept the
defense.
defense on the outside, and the ball was still making its way inside the three-point line when the buzzer went off. So we've played one quarter here. The Silver Streak 16, the Blue Devils 12. You're listening to Blue Devil Basketball on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Say up there.
Oh, jeez.
You got 3 for 14, you got 2 for 21, 2 for 22, and 5 for 42.
We're over here?
Yeah, we're over there. 14's got a 3. 21 and 22 got 2 each.
And we are back at John Thiel Gymnasium. Quincy High girls, as well as Galesburg Silver Streaks. Second quarter, 16-12 Streaks in the first quarter. Streaks get the second quarter. Kilgore starts back off. We also have Boyd back into the ball game. Herschenroder. Ederson, who just pulls up at the right elbow.
Good strong rebound by Foley.
And misses the shot for the Devils. Dade, Chevalier, Loncourt, Brown, and Foley, same way the Devils started the game off. Into the high post, Brown, oh, and a great step in. Brown stepped down to the 13-foot mark. Defense went by her, and she laid it all in.
No, up and under there, and, easy layup for Brown. Great move.
She's got 4 points now. Devils within 2, 16-14. The key here is the three-pointers. Devils have hit 1, 4 on the other side, so getting those extra points each shot from the perimeter.
Yeah, make sure you get out to the corners and guard with this Galesburg team.
Board had the basketball, taken away there by Foley. Foley down the right side of the court. Takes it into the right corner.
Patience.
Brings it back out to Chevalier. Chevalier. Brown goes up to the high post. Dade flashes across the court into the right corner. Brown gets it top of the key. And just slightly slow on that call, but it was traveling. Jada took a step before putting it down right at the charity stripe. So with 6:31 left in the first half, Silver Streaks lead 16-14 and have the basketball.
I may be a bit of a homer, but I thought she got bumped on that, so.
Out in the perimeter, I believe, Coach, maybe just because she was in the perimeter. Shot taken, no good. That was an air ball, not air ball, but Ederson missed it. Foley was, actually, Chevalier was coming out to the right side and had it stolen from her. Silver Streaks back in their lineup, back in their offense. Kistler back in the lineup. Kilgore comes up to the top. That's Kiera. To the left side to Boyd. Back to Kiera. Check it. Shot from 3, no good. That was Kistler that was still in that spot at the top. Now Herschenroder comes back out.
Well, that's one thing when you're in the 1-2-2. You got to be matched up, go out, put a forearm on somebody. We had 2 Blue Devil girls inside, and it bounced way out for a long rebound, and it was an easy pickup for the Galesburg. Good rebound.
Kilgore made a pretty good move to the center of the court, took a little 6-foot hook, but the hook was a brick. So,
well, good pressure by Foley, and then Foley went and got the rebound, and Kilgore fouled her. So, I think we're, ahead of the ball game on that one.
We're in the second quarter. That's the first foul of the second quarter for either team. We're getting the hang of that one. Devils in their half-court set.
Ooh.
Foley almost lost it down the left corner. She's looking for help. Dade picks her up on the right wing.
Once again, I love how the Blue Devils look for each other and make the passes.
Dade works,
very unselfish.
Works left side on the dribble. High post. Exchanges the right side. Loncourt steps up for the 3. No good. Long rebound falls out to the left corner. Chasing it down is Antonio Kistler. Down court. Kilgore. Good pass in the interior. Brought the defense Foley over. And then dropped a little bounce pass off to Boyd for a bucket.
That's where when you're in the man, you got to rotate down and make sure you get your hand on that pass.
Okay, we'll take that 2 after those 3s. Pretty consistent.
Oh.
Brown tried to go a little high-low pass. Foley didn't have the position. Ball got away. Kistler picked it up. Kistler, Herschenroder, Kilgore, Kistler, and Boyd. And we lost that. Oh, there she is, Ederson, hiding in that right corner where she's been for 3 trays so far in the ball game. Almost halfway through the second quarter. That means 4 minutes left in the half. Ball was lost on the floor. And a nice job by Coach Brad Dance. Ball was on the floor. Dade was hustling, but just waiting for that traveling call in case she kneeled across the floor.
Yeah.
And he called a quick 30-second timeout.
Well, I'm waiting when we have the 3 Herschenroders in, the 2 Kilgores in for you to call the game.
That'll be easy then. That'll be easy then. You won't hear it's Julia Taylor and Ella. Julia has not been in yet, and I really haven't paid attention to see which one are actually look-alike. So I'm looking at their numbers, and since 4, 5, and 10, or actually, 5, 10, and 11 don't look alike out there, I've been covered there. And the Kilgore, I'll tell you, she is. Where's your? Let me see.
Oh,
her
number 4, the 5'9" senior. I mean, she is a player.
I mean, she's got some good physicality to her.
Well, and I mean, she'll go inside, outside. She's hit the threes. She's made some nice moves underneath against, the taller girls, from Quincy High School. And it's like, okay, she gets after it.
She does like my sister. I'd look her straight in the eye, and she said, "I'm 5'10", as I was 6'1". I go,
well,
okay, so all right, we're back to action here. 4 minutes left in the first half. Chevalier drives baseline, up off the glass, no good, but she gets her own rebound. Leah backs it out to the left corner. In the high post, Jada Brown. Low post, opposite side, Taylor Foey. Dade comes flying through the lane, kicks behind the screen, and she's going to reset the offense. Nice job by the Devils. Into the high post, Foey looks, crossover dribble at the elbow, kicks it back out to Loncourt. Loncourt uses a screen. Loncourt, a great pass. Cutting down to the left block. She dropped a quick little pass, bounce pass, as leaving the left block was Jada Brown and did the reverse layup. Awesome job. Give her an assist.
Freshman to freshman right there. They played together for probably several years, if I had to guess. And you saw that in that last possession by the Blue Devils.
That was very sweet, Coach. We had a turnover on the other end. Galesburg traveling, so here come the Devils. 18-16, down 2. Right wing Chevalier at 40 feet. Top of the key, Foey to the left side. Layla Dade looked like she was going to fire the 3. Ederson came up on her. In the low post, she had Brown, but Brown's being guarded by Boyd.
Nice move.
Making it all the way through the lane, cutting through 2 of the Silver Streaks. Dade for the left-hand layup. She's got 6 on the night.
Sliced right through the man-to-man defense by the Lady Silver Streaks.
3 minutes left in the half. 18-18. We're tied up again. Have not been since 10-10 in the first quarter. Kilgore, dribbled the ball right out in front of Chevalier. And then made it through the lane, much like Dade, with maybe one extra move in there.
Well, we got Kilgore at 5'9", who handles the ball very well. And Chevalier at, they got her listed at 5'8", but I don't know if she's 5'8" or not.
Has tried to go inside, stolen there by the Silver Streaks. That was Josanne Kilgore. Josanne has the ball just off the left side. Back to the top to Boyd. Boyd is not a shooter.
She thought about it, though.
Yeah, Taylor Foey is 10 feet away from her, and she will not shoot the ball out there behind the arc.
Which that's very good defense, by Danson and the Lady Blue Devils. That, let's get down here, clog up the middle so they can't drive, and then, shoot, put pressure on the outside, which they did, and got the turnover.
All right, it's the 2 girls that are actually lookalikes, Taylor and Ella. Just exchange. Ella went down to take a seat. Taylor Herschenrotter, she's in the ball game. Kilgore's still there. Great pass there at the top of the key at the elbow. Brown then made a backdoor pass to Loncourt on that one. Missed the shot inside 2 minutes.
Great design of the play by Coach Dance.
And basically just made a quick stop at the top of the key, or at the elbow.
That was cheap.
Loncourt gets whistled for that foul that you heard Coach call out.
Well, I call it like I see it.
You got it. 1:40 left. That's her first and the team's first, so a clean game for 2 very good teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got one foul in the second quarter. I don't know how many we had the first, but this game has gone very quickly.
We had one. Right side, long 3. And nailing that one was Antonio Kistler. Out there at about 21 off the right side. And in the half-court set, the Blue Devils step out of bounds. Ball was stolen a little too far towards the outside of Loncourt. When she reached out to grab it and save it, she stepped on the line. 1:23 left first half, 23-18. Glad you're with us tonight. The band's up rocking too. Of course, now they're a little asleep.
Well, halftime, we'll get it up there and we'll rock and roll with them a little bit.
Ooh, a travel right there is the shuffle step.
Yep.
From Kilgore. Kilgore to Kilgore, driving down the lane and getting fouled. We got 2 shots. It looked like Bree Lannard might have made the foul on that one to be the second one for the Blue Devils and the first one for Bree.
I'm going to tell you what, as this game has gone on, it's gotten a lot more physical. And, I think we'll get a little chippy here in the second half.
We got two teams in their first round of conference action.
Well, you got 3-0 and 3-0. They're playing for the lead right now, you know, of the conference, and you got a couple other 2-1s that are down there with Alleman and you know, East Moline. Both are 7-1 and 2-1. You know, you got the haves and the have-nots here. So,
1 of 2 on the free throws.
Oh.
Devils in transition, though, and a great pass. Taylor Foey went to Bree Leonard. She missed it. And it last rolls off of Jada Brown. So with 6.5 seconds. Oops. There's that one number I can't see.
50.5.
Thank you there, Coach.
I can't see it either.
We're about 56. There you go.
I got my glass on. I still can't see it.
I don't know how I set myself right in front of there. Here we are down to the last 50 seconds of the first half. 6-point run here. As it was tied 18-18 by Galesburg, who wants to take the last shot of the half. At the left elbow, that's Kistler. Kistler, a spin around move against Brown, misses it. Foley gets it. Not sure you really wanted that shot that quick.
Good defense by Brown.
In transition, Leonard off the left wing. She brings it back to the top of the key. Right side, Chevalier. Looking inside, in between the blocks. Foley.
Good pass.
Good lob from the top of the key. Foley missed it, but Foley gets it again. And Kilgore from behind her blocks the shot. We'll take it because it went out of bounds, but little contact on the far side. That's what I was thinking too.
That was a foul.
Trying to be nice about it.
Well,
Loncourt's back in, Leonard's out, so looking with this last 17 seconds, Miley's in there, so we've got basically 5 shooters. Foley barely gets a handle on it. Oh, and that's a great pass. The Devils missed again. The pass was kicked out. Coming back in, Foley made a nice pass to Dade, who had stepped inbounds, and the ball rolled off. That's about the third one that's rolled off.
Well, Blue Devils have a lot of good looks at the basket, and they, you know, last couple have been, that's a tough shot.
Chevalier went off the left side, off balance a little bit, and here's the last shot that, wow, went completely wide of the backboard by 10 feet from half court. But that is the half. Your score at halftime, Galesburg Silver Streaks 24, the Quincy Blue Devils 18. We'll be back with our halftime here. And actually, Coach Pettit, give me your breakdown here while I catch up on our scoring.
Well, you know, I mean, the Blue Devils have hung tough. We thought this was going to be a knockdown, drag-out ball game, and that's what it's been. I mean, with very little runs, very little, good defense on both sides. Galesburg hit some threes, you know, which is probably the difference of the ball game right now.
As is pom-pom squad here for the Silver Streaks. Coach, we didn't have any cheerleaders here this week. I talked about that the other night, the cheerleading flip-off from a couple years ago that was quite humorous. And the music is loud up here. When they turn it up, we found that out in our pregame interview with Coach Douglas the other night. It drowned out our interview, and rarely do we have that happen.
Yeah.
Usually Coach and I can talk over that. So, well, here's the way this game started off. Galesburg got the first bucket. Quincy came back with a bucket, 6 points in a row, 2 threes, by the way, and next thing it was an 8-2 game. Devils did a nice job of coming back with a and one. Got a 3-point play there. 2 free throws after that within 1. Bucket turned around on the other side by Galesburg, and then the Devils hit a 3, and we were tied at 10-10. As soon as we hit the 3, boom, boom, 2 more threes from Galesburg. We're down, and then 1 bucket from us. 16-12 into the first quarter. Second quarter, we start off exchanging baskets. Devils came up with 4 quick ones, tied again at 18. And then the last 6 points of the quarter, and when we're talking the last 6, it seemed like it was 2 or 3 threes up there. There they were. The second and third 3, and then they bounced 2 back in a row in the first quarter, and then 1 there. I believe we have 5 threes on the other side for Galesburg so far.
Well, my big thing is, you know, Galesburg come down. They hit a couple of threes. We came down, you know, at the end of the first half, and we missed some layups. So when you give them the open threes and they hit them and we miss the layups, you know, that's why when you got 2 good teams, you have a, you know, 6-point lead, you know, going into the third quarter for Galesburg because they hit the threes, we missed the layups. So, you know, it's one of those things to where, you know, if we can start focusing on finishing, I think the Lady Blue Devils will be okay tonight.
Well, the amazing thing, we talked about the net and how nice of a shooting that this is down in this end, how soft it is, but the rim seems to be just enough that we can't get it to stay in there. Balls are rolling just off the back of the iron, and
well, we see if we get lucky at the other end. I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, a couple of defensive lapses, by the Blue Devils leaving wide open threes, for the Lady Streaks, and then us missing a couple of layups, at the end of the first half. That's where the difference is in the ball game right now, because other than that, these two teams are very evenly matched talent-wise, and both young teams. So I can see this the next 3-4 years being a battle for the Western Big Six.
Galesburg does a nice job of moving the basketball. That's a key there as well. When they're out, we put some great defense on teams. Now we played some mediocre teams, but most of the teams we played have done a nice job with it and only given up 21 points. We've already given up more than that tonight at 24.
Well, but the level of competition.
Which is the key right there is the fact that, we're going to end up probably as a normal game that we play, throughout the season.
50s, yeah, that's where, against the good teams where you can't just go out there and destroy them. You know what I mean? Especially when you're in the Big Six, when you're playing Alleman, Galesburg, East Moline this year is very, very good. So, you look at the rest of it, 4-3, 4-5, 2-4, 3-7. With Moline, Geneseo, Rocky. Boy, and I think Quincy I beat Rocky, 87-35, something like that.
When Quincy played, that was first game of the year, 57-17,
okay.
First conference game.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, in the girls' conference, you have the haves and the have-nots. So last year, Geneseo was very, very good, but they graduated a bunch. So I think it's going to come down to Galesburg, Quincy, East Moline. Alleman's right there, too. So
we'll have a good look, of course, after the first round here. And this is the fourth game of the conference after tonight, of course. And tonight, let's talk about the lineup, first of all, tonight in the conference. We're here. East Moline is hosting Moline. And then you've got Sterling and Geneseo. Good game there, but farther down. I thought, and then you've got Rocky hosting Alleman. And we mentioned there, of course, Rocky's 0-3. Alleman is 2-1. Sterling is 0-3. Geneseo is 1-2. And then East Moline, you've got East Moline at 2-1 and Moline at 1-2. So there's your other good game.
But I look at the overall, you've got Alleman at 8-1, or East Moline at 7-1, and Moline at 3-7. Overall, and Alleman's played a pretty good schedule, and usually the girls program up there, very good. Geneseo, Rocky on and off, but yeah, Quincy High, this is the premier game of the Big Six tonight, obviously, and maybe one of the best games in the state.
Also then, next week, actually check that, it's Saturday night, December 9th already. We're getting close to Christmas, folks. Quincy, Alleman. Good game on Saturday. And then we did talk about that earlier, didn't we? That's going to be a tough one to miss. Geneseo, Galesburg. Geneseo hosting there. Sterling, East Moline, and then Rocky and Moline. So Quincy with 2 straight games. And, we were talking about, I don't want to get too much into the conference for the fact that the other night we were talking between the boys and the girls. I started losing track of a couple of my teams with their first 3 games because the first 3 conference games, and I believe it's the boys, and it's a pretty good lineup here. I can't figure out which one we're talking about. That's why I'm going to stay boys on boys night, girls on girls, with just a little bit of a tidbit on the boys on these kind of nights. All right, it's halftime, Coach. First of all, our coach's comments at the beginning of the game. We use Coach Pettit since we haven't seen him for a couple days. And his comments are brought to you by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. Those guys with faith, family, and giving back. So, looking at this, Coach, at halftime, and we're breaking it down. What we liked, what we disliked. There wasn't a lot of dislikes because the action was pretty clean. We only had fouls, a total of 4 fouls on the Galesburg side and 3 fouls on Quincy High's side. So you wouldn't have been in the bonus no matter what. But looking at our squad, and other than giving up a couple open threes, we gave a lot of them up, but they got some extra rebounds. But what do we really need to work on second half?
Well, I think with the Blue Devil girls playing that 1-2-2, you need to stay matched up, and especially locate the shooters. And, with this Galesburg team, you need to locate basically everybody except the big girl in the middle because, she isn't going to take the 3, but everybody else will. So, what you need to do is make sure you're matched up, make sure you're close up, put a hand in the face, and make it hard for them to get the open look. Offensively, keep doing what you're doing, but finish hard. Finish hard to the hole, and, get to the foul line. How many free throws have we had first half?
We were 3 for 3.
3 for 3. We need to be probably 10 free throws the second half and get to the line and taking the ball hard to the hole, and make Galesburg guard you. So, I think we're in a good position, but, we have to restructure a little bit what we did in the first, and I think we'll be fine.
Well, Coach, we always talk about you've got to take care of business at home in your conference and then pull off as many as you can on the road.
Well, and this one, in the girls, side of the Western Big Six, winning at Galesburg is, oh my God, that's the paramount. Like, winning at Moline last year or winning at Quincy this year. This would be a signature win, for the Lady Blue Devils.
We mentioned the banners the other night up there, starting at 1997.
Oh my goodness!
At State, and they got a bunch of them up here. I can't even see. All right, here we go for the second half action. Devils will have the ball working right to left. Galesburg will be back on defense. As we started, Dade, Loncourt, Brown, Foey, and Chevalier. Right side, Dade, 3. No good off the iron. Foey up over the back. Luckily, she did not get called for the foul. She was on 2 girls' backs. The ball went out of bounds.
The thing I don't like about that is you can get that shot anytime. One pass and then launch a 3. Run your offense, try to get something going to the hole.
Silver Streaks with the basketball. Boyd, as we mentioned, she is not going to shoot the ball.
Everybody else will.
Shot from the left side, you got it. Taylor gets the Foey. She gets the rebound. On the left side, ML, no good. Weak side, looked like we might have a jump ball. And the outlet pass, Chevalier steals it, tips it into the backcourt, but did not have possession. Devils with the basketball, though. Leah works right side. Layla lost the handle on the ball right in front of the bench. And Edgerson picks it up. Starting off second half for Galesburg. Edgerson's on the right side. Back to the top of the key. That's Kistler. And here comes Kilgore. Kilgore does a little fake. She gets to the right block. Gets Chevalier up in the air. Little contact. Makes the basket. Has a chance at a 3.
Kilgore is a good-looking ball player. I know they list her at 5'9". They list Chevalier at 5'8", but there's a big-time difference between the size and the strength of those 2 girls.
There is no doubt. I think she starts at the ankle. We're going to measure her from the ankle. And again,
and when she starts driving, that's when Quincy's got to go up, double-team her, and get the ball out of her hands.
Kilgore makes the free throw. She had 8 in the first half. She's got 11 for the ball game right now.
I mean, she can drive or shoot the 3.
Indeed. Top of the key, Brown. Right side, Dade. Man-to-man coming from a
good strong move.
Strong move to the right side. Good move by Taylor Foey. She hits at 27-20. Taylor had 5 in the first half.
Blue Devils needed that one.
Leading the way in the first half was Dade with 6. Inside, Kilgore with a left hand. Second time she's done a left hand. This one was a little softer than the last time. Foey with the rebound.
Well, and Jada Brown stepped up, gave it a little bit more height and a little bit more bounce against her.
Ball goes into the low block. Brown lost it, but it bounced out to the left elbow. Foey takes the shot from there, misses it. We played 2 minutes of the third quarter. 27-20, Silver Streaks with the lead. Devils come back out man-to-man. Dade on Edgerson, back to the top of the key. Kilgore's going to, she fakes it. She faked the shot, nice job there, and drops it down to Antonia Kistler for an easy layup.
Poor communication by the Blue Devils on their man-to-man defense because nobody went out on Kilgore, and then 2 people went out there, and she made the pass for the layup.
Brown at the top of the key, and Coach Dance wants to talk about it. He calls a full timeout on the far side with 6:42. Check that. 5:42 left third quarter, and Devils are down 9.
Biggest lead of the game, I think, for Galesburg, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed you are, because they started at that 18-18, and they got up earlier by 6, but they got up from 18-18 to 27 a moment ago, and that was a 9-point lead, and then we're right back to 9 after exchanging baskets by each team. Again, I tell you, the Devils are playing some good ball, and you really, when you look, you go, they're hanging right here with Galesburg doing it as we anticipated. But
it's only a couple of 3 possessions to where, they haven't, been in sync or where they were supposed to be, to where, communication, like on that last one, Kilgore goes out there, nobody talked, she was wide open, then 2 went to her. Then she made the pass down for the easy layup because the 2 went to her. You got to have better communication on the defensive end. And I used to always say the most important part of defense is talking, and letting who's going to guard who, and, so on and so forth.
That's what we did without a basketball, and did nothing more than talking with the college girls at Quincy College in the 80s.
Good
high-low pass, Taylor Foley down to Brown. Brown goes in with the left hand. Well designed play there. Give Foley the assist and Brown the basket.
I mean, those 2 gals can go high-low anytime they want to.
Brown had 4 in the first half. She's got 6. Silver Streaks with the basketball. Top of the key is Hirschenroder.
Need a stop here.
Hirschenroder uses the screen by Kilgore. That was Josanne. Josanne goes around, gives it to her sister, Kiera, and Kiera with another bucket. She's the load. I'll tell you what, you want to, but if you double team her, she's got a good pass.
Oh, yeah.
Backdoor cut, left side. From the left elbow, down to the left block. Dade made the cut in the basket, and Brown with the assist.
I mean, it seems like both teams are going on the offensive end very well. The key's going to be getting the stops on the defensive end.
Silver Streaks with the basketball. Ederson, top of the key to the left wing. Kilgore takes it down to the left corner, being picked up by her numero counterpart, Chevalier, both wearing number 4. Kilgore stayed in the backcourt that time, took a chance, and now Longcore gets out in the break.
Good
Drop
pass.
it down to Brown. Brown's inside. Brown gets fouled from behind. Both girls get up, shake hands. Jada will go to the line to shoot 2.
Great pass by Longcore on that possession.
Foul was whistled against Josanne. Joselyn, I'm sorry, I forgot the L there. I thought that looked, but there's so many names and variations these days. 2 fouls on her, by the way. First one of the second half. As the first free throw is no good. 2 on Kilgore. Jocelyn's. And on the other side, only 3 fouls total for the Devils and none in the second half yet. And we've got 4:21 playing left in the third quarter. Second one up. Brown does connect on the second one. 29-25. As Brown now with 5 in the quarter. Foley's got 2. Backdoor from the right side all the way down the left block. Now an interior pass. Chevalier followed Kilgore instead of stopping her to cut through there.
Yep.
So when Kilgore lost the ball, Leah was whistled for the foul. For Chevalier, it is her first foul and the team's first of the third quarter. Ball goes inbound. Good positioning there inside by Kilgore, and now Chevalier has 2 fouls in a row.
That'll be her third of the game.
Oh, did you ever down for 3?
Yep.
Guess we had one in the first quarter that they must have gave to somebody else, because I did not have her for 1. All right, we're good to go now. Kilgore, pass out in front of the basket. Ederson misses it. 4 Devils were there. Thank goodness Foley tipped it the second time, and here comes Dade. Dade, great job of taking it to the hole. Dade basically had Longcore on the right wing. As soon as the defense went out on her, she took the lane to the basket and scored. Good job, Layla.
And it could have been a 3-pointer. Oh, 30.
From outside, it's Kistler again. She hit one in the second quarter.
That was the NBA three there.
Shot inside, no good. Brown's trying to track down the rebound. That stopped a 7-point run the Devils had. Now 34-27. Missed a few points there, Coach. Wow. Galesburg with the basketball. 3 minutes left, third quarter action, leading 34-27. Top of the key, Ederson. Right side, Herschenroder. That is Ella Herschenroder. She's played most of the game. Taylor has come in to spot her a couple times. At the top of the key is Kistler. Flashing up also at the top of the key is Jocelyn Kilgore. And getting down low and posting up is Kiera Kilgore. Back to the top of the key. Three-pointer shot, no good. Brown tracked it down for the rebound. Here comes Longcourt. Long pass down. Left baseline. Turnaround shot. No good by Foey, but a great rebound by Brown, but she turned and threw it out to Dade, and Ederson was in the way. A continuation on the play from Ederson. Was that Kilgore on Kilgore, or was that, yeah, it was. Sisters telling each other. Ederson makes the basket. She'll have a chance at a blue-collar three. Foul was called on Longcourt. Her second. Third team foul in the third quarter. Trying to finish it off, it's Ederson. Ederson had those 3 trays in the first quarter. Misses it. Rebound comes flying out. Bree Lannard was in the ball game, and it came flying to her head. She could not get it. So your lineup right now with Longcourt out. Lannard's in there. Nope, check that. Chevalier's out. Give her a break against Longcourt, or against Kilgore. Block shot by Foey. Good job. Made the spin move on her was Kistler. And from behind, Taylor Foey. So, Foey, Brown, Lannard, Dade, and Longcourt in the lineup. Box out of bounds play comes from Galesburg. Tried to go inside, but a travel. She tried to make the pass, and that was Kilgore, Jocelyn. And as she reached out, she stretched her foot out, drug it, and traveled.
Coach Massey didn't think so, though.
They never do.
No, well, yeah.
2 minutes left in the third quarter. Devils down by 9. Longcourt on a spin move, had it knocked away by Kilgore. Tell you what, you almost need to send about 2 or 3 fast girls and just keep running around her and try to wear her out.
Yep.
Devils with the basketball. Lannard on the left side, 35 feet from the basket. And Kilgore mugs Longcourt from behind a little bit and then gets the steal.
Well, once again, that's the difference between the 5'9" senior and the 5'8" freshman.
Kistler
physically wise.
Kistler hits another one. She's got 2 threes in the quarter, 8 points in the quarter, and she's got 11 for the ball game. 39-27. Good drive to the basket after a bounce pass, and Jada Brown goes in strong, and she'll have a chance at a 3.
Good pass by Longcourt. She didn't have much room to thread that in there, and she did.
39-29. Brown will have a free throw to go with that basket. And she'll connect on it.
Blue Devils need to get a stop here. You know what I mean? Then come down, get a bucket, and maybe a three-pointer and get it going into 6, going into the fourth quarter.
Brown with 8 points in this quarter, 8 of the 12 points from the Devils. And she had 4 before that. Galesburg has the basketball. And Longcourt leans in, commits the foul. Coming around the screen was Kilgore. Miley came out there to make a stop. A little too much contact. For Miley, her third foul, and the 4th of the third quarter for the Blue Devils. At the line, Kilgore. They actually put him down for 5, so 2 shots as we talk about for Kiera Kilgore.
Oh, she's a player. No ifs, ands, or buts. She handles the ball. She shoots the 3s. She can do the stuff inside. I mean, they got her listed at 5'9". She might be a little bigger than that. As I look at her standing next to, Jada Brown, she might be 5'10" or so, which that's a good size good-sized girl to move to the next level.
Dade has the basketball. Devils are down by 11 with 1 minute left in the third quarter, 41-30.
Need to get a good shot here.
Byquist is into the ball game. Top of the key to the left side is Dade. On that left block is Brown. High, low, oh my. It was a great pass to the top of the key. Leonard had it, and then she zipped it right down when Brown was basically looking for a lob inside and out of bounds. Goes back over the Silver Streaks.
Not a good angle on that entry pass for the Lady Blue Devils.
And if you're going to put a lob up, that's the one key with the backboard behind. It's got to be precision, and it's got to be a little bit of an arch in that thing. Down to 43 seconds left and counting the third quarter. Kilgore's at the top of the key, lost it off Byquist's foot. Byquist tried to get around her. And they're coming behind Kilgore quickly.
I like the hustle with Byquist.
Byquist.
And she had a great sophomore game earlier.
1-2-2 with Byquist at the point, Dade and Leonard at the high post, low post Brown and Foley. Right side Ederson, top of the key is Hirschenrotter. Left side's Kilgore, into the high post is Kistler, and then we've got Boyd back down here on the baseline. Let her have it. Inside 10 seconds left. Skip right side. Ederson. Dade got out in time. Ederson basically closed the space between her and Dade and gave Dade the chance to get a piece of the ball. If she would have just taken that shot at the first half step to the side, she would have got it free. And
well, that's what I always taught, my guys when we played the 1-2-2 is that when the ball's in the air, you need to turn and run to where the ball is going, and get there and put your hands up. And, on that particular possession, the Blue Devils did a very good job of that.
Well, we're through three quarters right now. It's 41-30, Silver Streaks with the lead by 11. This game started off 16-12 after one quarter. Lots of threes, too. 4 in the first quarter by the Silver Streaks to get a little bit of a lead out there. Then halftime, it ended up 24-18. It was tied at 18, and the last 6 points of the first half were run off by Galesburg, and they threw another 3 in there in the second quarter. Third quarter came out. Devils did a nice job after a old-fashioned 3, or you want to say your and 1. It got up to a 27-18 lead. Devils came back, traded baskets. Then the Devils got a nice little 7-point run. And at the end of the quarter there, the three-pointer by Jada Brown, followed by those 2 free throws. And we've got it 41-30, 8 minutes left in this thing. Glad you be with us.
And the Blue Devils need to get stops on the defensive end. They haven't done a very good job of that. They were at 24 at halftime. They scored 17 that quarter. That's not Blue Devil defense.
Not at all. Kilgore on the right side with Ederson. Back to the top of the key. There's a 3 being fired. Oh, a brick off the left side. Excuse me, but it was.
Nice box out by the Lady Blue Devils. You have 4 of them around the bottom with, 3 Silver Streaks behind them.
Kistler missed that shot. Devils have it in the half-court set. Loncourt's on the left wing. Man-to-man still coming out of, there's some zone, but they play a straight-up man-to-man, Galesburg does. And Boyd just knocked that one away. We didn't get the ball up high enough again to Jada Brown.
I'd probably went bounce pass on that one.
And the Devils have been doing a great job of dropping those bounce passes too, Coach. Left wing Ederson. Dade guards her man-to-man. Back to the top of the key. That's Kistler. Goes into the block. Kilgore turn around. Kilgore misses. And Foley gets a great rebound. Tell you what, Boyd and Kilgore are right there when you start bringing the ball down, especially Kilgore.
Oh, yeah.
Kiera. Right wing.
Good
Oh, and a
pass.
wraparound bounce pass. That was sweet by Foley into Brown. It was tipped away down on the low block by Jocelyn Kilgore. She was guarding on the roll by Brown. Dade will trigger it. Brown and Foley inside. Loncourt gets one back, bumps the girl, Kilgore. So those two are playing hard. Drives to the basket. Good job by Miley Loncourt. After bumping down Kilgore, Loncourt takes it to the basket. First points of the last quarter. I was still in the third quarter. Coach, this game has moved along so fast. Kilgore. Chevalier was taking it away, and Kilgore reached out and pushed her hand away. It was a quick move, though. At the top of the key, that's Ella Hirschenrotter. Right side Boyd, let her shoot the ball. Sorry there, Miss Boyd. Taylor Hirschenrotter is also in the ball game at the same time.
Better get a body on her for the offensive rebounds, though.
Along with Ederson and the other Kilgore, Jocelyn. Left side, Kiera Kilgore drives in on Chevalier. Great job of Taylor Foey. She came over and made contact, and they didn't call the foul.
Well, she went straight up. She didn't go over or move her hands down. She went straight. Oh.
On the right wing, goes inside. Brown loses it. Brown kicks it left side to Loncourt. Her three is no good. Chevalier went into the lane, and it's a 2-on-1. Loncourt couldn't get back to help. Ederson with a basket there. Ederson had that 9 in the first quarter. She had 2 in the third and 2 in the fourth, so he kept her from shooting the threes. Left side, Dade. Goes to the baseline, bounces it in. Brown up off, and Brown count the basket, and she's fouled. Boyd came over to help her, but when she did, it was too late, and Jada's going to have another chance at a three.
Great job of Jada, getting her body down low, down on the block, catching it, reverse pivoting, and going up strong.
Brown with 5:15 left, 43-34. Foul was called against Kilgore as Brown connects on the three-pointer. That's her second one of the night, the old-fashioned way. Kilgore, it's her second foul. Double check on there you are. And I believe, since we're in the fourth quarter, left wing shot no good.
Oh.
Kilgore went up and got that one over Chevalier to the side. She just wanted it more, and she's got good lateral movement.
Well, they got to listen to that 5'9". She plays a lot bigger than 5'9", especially underneath the basket.
I will agree with that, Coach. Fourth quarter, each team has a foul. Goes into the block, trying to work around, almost traveled, but stayed out of the lane was Kilgore.
I think she traveled.
And that time, wow, Chevalier.
We are playing in Galesburg now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And Chevalier did a great job of trying to screen out, but they're letting it really a lot of physicalness from behind on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Leah lost the ball, and you can tell Leah's in good shape, but if you look down there, she's sucking a little air.
I tell you what, this is a very physical game. This is almost like a sectional game. The way I look at this, because, the longer you go in the playoffs, the more physical it gets and the less they, call fouls. And that's kind of the way this one's been going. How many fouls we got total in the game? Like maybe 10 on each team?
Devils got 9, and the other side has 6. Somehow they got behind.
Well, we are in Galesburg.
Devils missed the shot.
We're at the
Rebounded by
field.
Galesburg. You've got Byquist in there with Dade.
Need a stop here.
Chevalier, Brown, and Foey.
Stay up.
With the ball, Kilgore. Back to the top of the key. 3 taken. Good. Left open out there. And there's just too much space. Kistler hit the shot. She's got 3 trays, 11 in the game.
Pick and pop, and I tell you what, I thought Jada did a great job, good effort trying to block it. Oh,
high-low pass, Foey into Brown. Brown lost it. The shot didn't go in. Another one of those. First half was a lot more rolling out and an opportunity there. Inside 4 minutes left in the ball game. Streaks are leading 46-35. Kilgore kicks it into the left corner. Shot taken. It's good for 3. That was Ella Hirschenroder, and that's her first points of the night. It's an 8-point run by the Silver Streaks. They are now up by 14. 49-35.
Well, it gets down to, execution on the offensive end, it comes to the end of the game. And, the Silver Streaks have done a great job passing, kicking, finding the open man, and knocking down the shot. Because how many threes we got for Galesburg now versus how many threes we got?
Well, in the first half, they had 5 threes. Unofficially, actually 3. Yes, 5 threes. Third quarter, 2 more. That's 7, and 2 more in the fourth quarter.
9.
So 9 right now, and the Blue Devils have 1.
Okay.
Way back in the first quarter.
Yeah, once again, 9 versus 1, that's a 24-point difference. So, what you've got is a 14-point game. So, God, the Blue Devils hit a couple of more. Galesburg done hit a couple of less. You're right there. That's how close these two teams are.
Well, now, stat there, too, you've got Miley Loncourt. She's got 3 fouls, but only 5 points. So, not that that's the biggest concern, but looking at our scoring, and Foley only has 7 right now. through the game. Brown does have 15, leading the way for the Blue Devils. 3:41 left in this one and counting now. Back to action. Dade brings it across the timeline. Right side, Chevalier.
Need
Gets
to get
a
a
screen
good
from
shot
Foley.
right now.
Foley rolled. Chevalier backs it out. Right wing is Loncourt. Left wing is Dade. High post Brown. Low post Foley. Foley starts her dribble into the basket. Gives to Chevalier. All the way into the basket. Good take, and she got a good shot. But
Didn't go in, and she got it back and got hammered.
But it was hard. She shot a bit of a brick on that one when she got in the middle lane. I'm not sure how she got it back because she had 3 silver streaks around her. On the foul, first one of the ball game is Ella Hirschenrotter. Ball comes back to the top of the key after it left the baseline. Team foul number 2. On the other side, inside, Foley, almost travels through a whip around pass around the head, and somehow it got to Brown and went in. Give her the assist and give Brown the basket. I almost thought that was going to be a turnover there, Coach, but it did break into the 8-point run by the Silver Streaks. Top of the key, actually check it. From the elbow, Kilgore. Kilgore got just a little space between Loncourt and Foley, I believe. Check who the other guard was, who they called the foul on. And Kilgore is going to shoot. And it was Foley. Taylor, her first foul in the ball game with 2:45 left. Second team foul in the fourth quarter. Kilgore, her first points, and I must say that's good. 2:45 left in the game, and that was her first point at all in the fourth quarter. Second one good as well.
She's made a couple of good passes, though, when the Blue Devils have double-teamed her. You know, she's made a couple of good passes for open looks.
6 for 7 from the charity stripe. Was that Jada Brown?
Jada Brown got the basket. Chevalier got the assist.
That
Great
was
pass.
awesome. Just as I look up, Brown makes a good move and reaches up to grab the ball and moves through traffic. 51-39, 2:20. Edgerson brings it back to the top of the key. Actually, all the way back to half court where Dade makes her pick it up.
Yeah.
And Coach Massey realized right away that we're in a little trouble there. Let's call a timeout. So with 2:17 left, 51-39, the Silver Streaks, 12 points to make up in a hurry. And both these two teams are good defensive teams.
Well, we need to put the pressure on the defensive end, you know, double team, you know, make sure you get in the passing lanes and hopefully get a couple of steals, you know, for a couple of breakout layups, you know, and get this into a, you know, 2-possession game, you know, here going down to the last, you know, 30, 40 seconds.
And that's one thing we have not done tonight, Coach. Again, we're matched up to a different type team.
Yes.
We haven't done a lot of full court pressure. But I also think this team breaks the pressure pretty fast.
Yeah.
So
everybody they have out there handles the ball except for maybe the big girl, but she'll catch it and make a good pass. You know what I mean?
Back to action. Galesburg has the basketball as we approach 2 minutes. 10 seconds right now left in that 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Kilgore comes off the left side or the right side. Foley picks her up.
More.
And that's good because Foley's decent, his quickness, and has size, but takes it all the way to the left block. Finger
up
rolls
and under
it
her
up.
left hand. She does everything. She's a good ball player.
There is no doubt about it. 53-37.
Good strong. Oh.
Ball goes inside. Foley shoots over the basket. Hirschenrotter is there to get the rebound. Loncourt picks her up at half court. Skips over to the left side.
Can you
Kilgore.
imagine, you know, the pickup basketball games in Hirschenrotter family?
Triplet freshman, no doubts about it. I've got to see number 4 and see what Julia looks like. Nope, check that's Taylor. Taylor, Ella, and Grace. Grace is the one that we have not seen tonight. I kept looking up at Robinson. 1:27 left in this one. Chevalier's pass. 2-on-1. Edgerson. She gets it.
Was that freshman to freshman?
55-37. Oh, 39, excuse me.
I think we're going to have some fun games the next 3 years with these two teams. With their youth and the youth that is, you know, producing at the varsity level. The freshmen, this is going to be fun the next 3 years.
Ella Hirschenrotter, her second foul, team foul number 3. Devils have 2. 1:08 left. Turnaround shot, no good. Foley missed it. Luckily, Dade stole it away. Leonard came in, works around left side. Loncourt decides she's going to drive in. Oh, and a nice move there. She got up quick to get it on the strong side. 55-39. Loncourt, she has 7. Inside minute. Boyd has it. There's the girl that should have had the ball most of the night when she was in there. She doesn't look to shoot the ball at all. Good movement there, and it's a tight movement here. As you know, not your usual spread out, but Foley's going to commit the foul. It'll be her second. Team's third, so teams are tied up 3-3 in this last quarter. Here come substitutions. Speaking of Grace, check that, Julia Robertson. Julia Robertson comes in. Addie Peck. Cora Johnson. And running out that lineup.
The legend gets victory number 1001.
29 seconds left and counting. Devils down. Devils keep their lineup in right now. Bounce pass over at half court. Now see, that was quick, I thought, and yet we've seen a lot more physical play. But
well, 5 seconds to go in the game, you let that go.
20.8 also.
Well, 5 seconds, 20.8, doesn't make any difference.
And that one, it's a 14-point game.
Yeah.
And we'll have Coach Brad Dan's coming up, hopefully after the ball game. I'm sure he will, to kind of break this one down. Just a little loose. That's what they say. 2 good teams can play, and you can get by with making some mistakes. The better the teams are, and obviously Galesburg's going to be good. We'll have to hold our own down at Quincy High's gymnasium.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. Galesburg in the 3A rankings, I don't know when they're coming out, but they will be a probably top 5 team, in the 3A rankings easily.
Foley off the left wing. No good for 3. Rebound Galesburg, and there's the final buzzer. Your final score. The Galesburg Silver Streaks, exactly what they averaged a season, 55, and given up 10 more than they normally give up, 41, but that's probably in line on the Blue Devil side. Devils didn't quite get to their scoring there, 41, as they, well, take that back. No, we were closer to 49, and we only give up 21. Impressive team.
Once again, it comes down to your competition that you play. Quincy's competition has been okay, but not to this level. You're talking about, possible, team that's going to make a run in the state, and, once again, Quincy High is still learning how to win. Got a lot of youngsters, getting in there and playing. Tonight you had 2 freshmen play most of the game, and another freshman that came in and gave him a little spark at the end of the 3rd quarter. So, hostile environment. I think Quincy High gymnasium for the Lady Devils is going to at least give them 10 points. So, when Galesburg comes down, that's going to be a game that, hopefully we can cover.
As we break down the score after 1 quarter tonight, Devils were down 16-12. Got it back to 18-18 in the 2nd quarter before falling down 24-18. 41 in the 3rd quarter for Galesburg. Blue Devils had 30, down 11. And then the Devils made it to 41 in the ball game, but lost 55-41.
Did I ever tell you about the story of my daughter number 2? Her first game that she ever played was on this court with the Jefferson Jayhawk Lady Jayhawks against Galesburg. And at that time, I believe Galesburg had they had a 6'2", a 6'1", and then a 5'11" across the front line. And my daughter was 5'6". She played center. I got a great picture of her. she was doing the Michael Jordan with her tongue hanging out, going up against the 6'2" girl. But Jefferson.
What year was that, Coach?
Oh my goodness. I can't remember.
I was trying to put it up over there that maybe that was over across the court with all the banners, because they went from 97 to 2003.
Oh yeah.
But then they went in 2011 and 15, and I'm thinking you're somewhere in between that 3 and 11.
I know I was coaching and I didn't have a game, so I drove down here because that was their first game of the year they played here against Galesburg, and I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, I mean, we ended up getting beat by 50, but you know, they had she was a freshman at the time. She didn't start, but she came in and played, and she was like, well, I didn't do so good. I said, well, when you were in there, you guys only lost by 12. And before she got her 5 fouls, you know, battling the 6'2", 6'1", 5'11" front line. And, you know, they had, you know, she started, well, didn't start as a freshman, but she was the first gal off the bench. And then they had 2 sophomores that started. So a very young team, and they came down here and just got their hands held to them. But once again, they learned and they got better throughout the season, and that was, you know, a big part. And they ended up competing very well, you know, at the end of the year.
Well, look, mark your calendar on January 25th, 2024, in Quincy, at Quincy High, and it'll be Galesburg coming down, and it'll be the matchup then, and that is basically from. Yeah, that's not right, because there's no way that's the end of the season. Pretty close to the end of the season.
Well, yeah, for the girls, I mean, they started what, a week a week before the boys did. So
we will have a few more dates than that.
Oh yeah,
it goes until February 8th when they finish up at Moline, and then get ready for the postseason there.
Well, and you know, that's one thing that we're going to try to do here at Mecca Sports. We're going to pick out the best game that we can find every night, you know, that you can listen to and or, you know, see it. So, you know, we got a couple of games coming up, you know, tomorrow night, you know, the Blue Devils hosting Sterling, and Sterling's a tough out, although they did lose their first game to Rocky, you know, the other night. So,
but after beating Moline.
Well, yeah, the Western Big Six is going to be a battle this year, and you know, what you got to do is make sure you're bringing your best every night, you know, in order to compete in that conference.
Well, I will say this, Coach. I'm kind of glad that the camera was not working tonight, since we really had a good look tonight. I mean, it was just some key spots there early in the game, in that key spot. Well, when you're 18-18 in the second quarter, just before the half.
You know, that 6-point run there at the beginning, and then what they come out the third quarter, didn't they get a couple more?
They came out 9 points at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And then we had the Devils actually in the third quarter came back with a 9-point run. So that sealed that one up. But then you got into the fourth quarter, and it was 2 runs of 8 points and 6 points. So 14 points in there.
Yeah.
To 4.
Well, I mean, they pushed it out from 24-18 to 29-20. You know, very early in the third quarter. So if you look at that last, you know, 3-4 minutes there, and then the first, you know, 2-3 minutes in the third, I mean, shoot, we got outscored. You know what? 18. You know, 11 to 2. You know, so it's like one of those things to where, you know, this is a game of runs, and you need to make sure that you whoops.
No, go ahead,
Excuse
Coach.
me, sir.
I've got it right here. Here you go, Coach.
There you go. Sorry, man. I get yapping.
No, you're good.
It goes.
Coach Dance, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, all right.
Well, aside from the result of that game, obviously we knew it was going to be a great matchup. We had 8-1 and 8-0. We had both teams 3-0 in the conference. Neither team really made, well, mistakes, yes. But as far as the style of play, it was physical, but didn't get any foul trouble. Really, our fouls later in the ball game and all this, and everything was back and forth. We seemed to have early in the ball game in the first half, balls roll out right at the key time. They came down and hit a lot of threes, and that was maybe the key that early in the game. We gave them a lot of 3 points and a few extra shots.
We did. We gave them some wide open looks, and we talked about good closeouts, and that just didn't happen tonight. We've got to make sure that we do a better job closing out on them. And, you know, when you shoot wide open threes, you're able to play a little bit more freely, and I think they did that tonight. And we struggled with finishing around the basket. I thought offensively in the first half, we left probably 5 layups out there. A 6-point deficit could be 2-3 point lead for us. So that makes a huge difference. And then we're playing a little bit tighter there in the second half because we're down, and I mean we still missed some shots. It's part of the game, but defensively, I thought after that first 4 or 5 minutes, I thought we kind of dialed in, and it was an eye opener for a couple of our kids, and I thought as the game went on, I thought we got better.
You're standing down there on the court. That Kilgore is not 5'9".
Yeah.
Well, if your girl's 5'8",
yeah,
she at 5'9".
Yeah.
Quite an impressive player, in good shape too. Leah Chevalier's in decent shape. She was sucking some air out there, and that girl, I mean, played all 85 feet, played offense. I mean, everywhere the ball was, she was. Obviously, next time, she's a key to stop.
She is, and we knew that going in. And Leah did a really good job on her last year, and I thought Leah did a good job on her this year. There's a few things that we'll go back and look at the tape, and there was some things that a little bit of benefit of no calls and things like that on her at times, which is part of the game. But we'll just keep plugging away and keep getting better.
Coach Pettit had mentioned that obviously a couple times when Miley got knocked over down here and a couple touches. You got to remember we're on the road,
yeah.
and obviously that's what we understand there too. But it was kind of funny late in the game then when there was a call, and I thought, really? But let's look back to us. In the first half, there was some great interior passing. We had one pass from the top of the key to the elbow and a bounce pass down to a cutter from the baseline, and that play was well run right out of the timeout. I believe.
That's why I can't complain. We executed pretty well tonight. The end result wasn't always there, but the execution was there up until the final shot. So we just got to keep working at that, and we will. But I like our execution. I thought we got a lot of good looks out of our 5 game. We ran Oregon. We got we got a lot of good looks out of that. We just got to make sure that we're putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, a lot of assists. I mean, we could have had a lot more too, but I really thought, and it wasn't just 1 or 2 of our players, and our big girls who do, Brown and Foley do such a good job interchanging themselves, and that was pretty good. As Brown had a nice game at 19 points.
She did. She did a good job, and we do a good job of getting her the ball. And when Taylor gets the ball, Taylor's got 2 girls on her, and she does a good job finding her, and Jada does a really good job of finishing.
Yes, the nice thing Coach Pettit had to mention too, these teams are young. We got to worry about each year, and of course January 25th will be the next time we see them in Quincy. But the next few years will be a lot of fun between these 2 programs.
Yeah, and our girls were already talking about that in the locker room because the beauty of our conference is you get everybody home and home, so we'll be ready for them. So.
And we'll look forward to it as well. So have a safe trip home, and good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks. You too. Thank you guys very much.
You got it, and that's Brad Dance, the head coach of the program. Sorry, there, turn that one down. You got to play producer for a second. I can think and do both at the same time sometimes. All right. Well, Coach, he nailed it right there. He did so many good things tonight, and the interior passing, especially early in the ball game, was good. You mentioned it earlier in the game and throughout the game. It's those handful of times, whether it's extra threes and getting extra points.
The wide open 3 looks that they had probably, of the 9 they made, I would say 4 or 5 of them were wide open looks that weren't challenged. We cleaned that up. We make a few layups, and this is one of those games that goes down with whoever has the ball last wins it. So, it's one of those things, minor adjustments. You played a very, very, very good team. This team's going to be ranked probably in the top 5 of 3A, when the first polls come out, if not, 1 or 2, to be honest with you. So, good effort tonight. Got to clean up a few things, but, I love the way the Blue Devils are playing, especially with their youth. And, their mix of youth and, their senior leadership. I think there will be a very, very dangerous team come second half of the season.
Well, remember, this is only December, Coach. We do not want to be playing our greatest basketball here.
No.
I would much rather take a loss here than on January 25th or early in the postseason. So quite honestly, it's all in perspective as the way the coaches lay things out.
Well, and the way I look at it, our 2 losses this year are against the defending 4A state champion O'Fallon team that I don't think has lost yet. Or I think they may have lost 1, and you've got this Galesburg undefeated team that's going to be I believe, a player in 3A this year for the ladies. So, no shame in the losing to those 2 teams, but, once again, we got to keep getting better and keep making adjustments and, finish it off this year.
Well, and also Coach Dance's comments here and Coach Pettis as well are brought to you by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai. By the way, I know we've got the 2 in Quincy, Honda and Hyundai. Jeff Kahn runs those. We know we have the one in Macomb. I've not been over that on that west side of east side of town. You drive by it every day on Highway 34. Right as you're going right by there, I found it, and it was Chrysler, Ram, Jeep, and oh, don't do this to me.
So whatever you need, go see Kunis.
You got it.
Well, whether it's in Macomb or in Quincy, or shoot, my son-in-law works for Kunis up in Belvedere, so.
Look at you.
Well,
you got the inside track there too. But they're right across from Fairway on the south side of Highway 34. Hey, let's break down the scoring for you here. Before
they turn the lights out on us.
They're starting to do that. That's right. For the Blue Devils, now 8-2, 3-1 in the conference. They were led in scoring by Jada Brown. She had 19, 8 points out of Layla Dade, 7 from both Miley Loncourt, 7 also from Taylor Foey. Dropping down 3 girls in the game, Leonard Chevalier, as well as Byquist, each in the ball game, but did not score. On the other side, Geneseo now 9-0, 4-0 in the conference. They were led by 19 of Kiera Kilgore. She was a stud. Alex Edgerson, she had 15 points, starting with those first 3 in the first 3 threes in the first quarter. Boy, we throw a lot of that stuff at you, don't we? 14 points also out of Tonya Kistler. So, yeah, 3 girls in double figures, 19, 15, 14. Dropped down with a 3-pointer by Ella Herschenroder, not till the fourth quarter, and a 2 by Boyd, who was defense, rebounding, and, hey, I don't think I'm going to shoot the ball unless I'm right at the basket.
Well, she made some good blocks. I tell you what, she played Foley hard, and she guarded her most of the night and held her, to, she had Foley?
7.
7. She held her to 7. So, that opened it up for the Brown girls. So, it's one of those things to where, yeah, that big girl, she didn't score a lot, but her defense was very good in her rebounding.
Well, the Devils will come back at home against Alleman. Another great matchup there, but it will be at home, and so on Saturday. So keep it out there.
Is that a 1:30 game?
I believe that's what it was there, Coach.
We can make that, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we don't have to be in Columbia till 9.
7 o'clock at night.
Oh,
so they've got the game at 7 o'clock at night. Devils play Chaminade at 9 o'clock at Mizzou on that night as well. But then don't forget tomorrow night we've got Quincy High taking on Sterling at home, normal time 7 o'clock, and Blue Devil Gymnasium. Well, our player of the game, it looks like a pretty easy one, even though there was a lot of good play. Jada Brown, the freshman, strong inside, 19 points. She's our player of the game.
Yep.
And we thank Coach. We thank Kunis. Coach Pettit, I thank you. And we will catch you. It's a school night, so Coach Pettit definitely has to get back to school, and I don't. So that works out pretty good. So, again, the final score here at Galesburg. Galesburg Silver Streaks 55, Quincy High Blue Devils 41. Thank you for joining us with MeccaSportsCo.com. Everybody out there, have a great evening. Good night.